Welcome back to Beers and Brews. Hey, if you haven't already, be sure to hit those subscribe and follow buttons and hit those notification sounds no matter where you're listening. Not only does it help us out, but you'll know exactly when we have another one brewing. Fellas, this week's movie, going back to Wes Anderson town. Fantastic, Mr. Fox.
Okay, this was a movie for kids who go to Christian school and only eat organic.
Oh, no.
I mean, it does come off like extremely dry and almost stale. You know, it does feel, but like when you realize it's a Wes Anderson movie and there's a lot of stuff that kind of doesn't matter, the movie goes down really smoothly.
See, I love the dry humor, the dry dialogue and everything, but you're right. This is a children's movie for, I don't know that it's a kid that goes to Christian school. I think it's like a kid that goes to like Montessori school and their name is probably like Sparkle Shine or something.
Oh no, here comes Apple.
Herbert.
Herbert? Goodness.
Yeah, because that's the only place it's safe to be Herbert.
Oh no, that poor kid.
Mhm.
Now the name is Jarvis.
Oh,
That's
fucking
rough.
Tony Stark's computer.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But anyway, this is a Wes Anderson film, stop motion film about foxes based on a Roald Dahl novel book.
Question mark?
I don't know. I didn't read it. But just like any other Wes Anderson film, man, this got a stacked cast.
Yeah, for sure. You get the regulars like Jason Schwartzman, Bill Murray, and Owen Wilson, George Clooney. And we had a little discussion earlier that Willem Dafoe is in this movie, and of course he is. Of course he's a villain. He plays a rat dude, and it's phenomenal.
Amber had a suggestion. Also, that line about the Christian school thing, hers, amazing. She said Tim Allen should have played the fox, just because we couldn't get past George Clooney's voice coming out of the fox, because then it just felt like Wes Anderson's Fox's 11 instead of anything original.
Fox is 11.
I haven't seen the Ocean's 11 movies, but
What?
I feel like they're pretty much the exact same movie as this, right?
Yeah,
100%.
Note to self, put Ocean's 11 sometime on the cast. Goddamn, Chandler will love it. Period. All right.
Oh, I'm sure I will. Have no doubt. But I assume they're just like in there robbing 3 casinos or something like that, just trying to get a chicken.
100%. 100%. You're not wrong.
You just got Brad Pitt just like scoping out the joint, rubbing his belly. God damn, I'm so hungry.
I can't wait to have that cock in my mouth.
Just Clooney slaps him. Can't say that anymore.
Oh, what the cuss.
Yeah. I thought that was brilliant. So, like, this is a kid's movie. So if there's any kind of strenuous activity or something that comes up the characters don't like, they don't curse. There's no filthy language whatsoever, but they replace it with the word cuss. So the word is the action, which I thought was hilarious.
Like, I would honestly adopt that. Like, just replace it with cuss. It's more fun. Like, at this point, fuck, shit, dick, it's all the same. You know, it doesn't mean anything anymore. It's not even fun. But if you were just like, oh, man, what the cuss? I'm going to slap the cuss out of you. You know, something like that. People are like, what?
Yeah, it's almost disarming, to be honest. It's like, you're going to what the what out of me? I'm just going to leave.
Right.
Yeah, don't.
No, you're right. It's like that video of the fast food worker who gets into an argument with a woman who's, I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where she's like, yeah, well, that's my fucking tit, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She just whips it out, and everybody's just like, question mark.
Raccoon in a gunny sack, slinging that bitch around.
got titty chucks.
Oh,
Gotta
God
dual
damn.
wield 'em.
Oh, absolutely.
It turns into the scene from Kung Pao, and she just spraying milk, and the dude's matrix out of the way.
Oh, no.
I like how that's come up twice in the last half hour. Fantastic.
Hell yeah.
But this
Good.
movie's plot is kind of thankfully really simple. So, like, George Clooney, the fantastic Mr. Fox, the reason why he's fantastic is he's a retired caper. Really good at stealing shit. Fox 11. That's probably a news thing, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes. He's a heist. What?
He's a heist. He himself
Yes.
is the prepared thing.
He is you son of a bitch, I'm in. That's what. Yeah, he's trying to steal back his fucking youth because, like, he used to be so suave and now he works at a newspaper and he doesn't like that.
I do enjoy the little quip of, like, you know, he's a journalist now and he has like his own little special column. And, like, the first thing he says when he greets anybody, he's like, hey, have you read my column? Didn't think so.
But yeah, the first thing that we see, like he's out on a heist, he gets caught, and they say, if we get out of here, then I'm done. If we get out of this alive, he's with his wife, moving on to a different career. And then that's the first scene. 12 years later, he's moved on, and now he's just a boring old article writer. That's what they're called, right? Article writer?
Yeah, He tries to get out of the life, but they keep pulling him back in.
Pulling him back in. Actually, nobody is pulling him back in. He just says, you know what, honey? I'm tired of being poor. Let's move into this tree and then set up like a real big heist. One last heist to go out on.
We do see that like he's clearly neglecting his child. And then instead of just being like, hey, kid, you know what? Let's do this. We'll be like a little father and son unit. Now he's just like, hey, kid, fuck off. I gotta go.
Right.
Dude, not only is he like, hey, kid, fuck off. He's like, hey, kid, fuck off. Your cousin's way cooler. I'm using him.
Yeah, that had like serious laughs out of me because like he's trying to win his father's approval with like, hey, I'm an athlete. I do athletic stuff. And it hard cuts to him at high school where his coach is like, get the fuck on the bench.
Yeah, let's bring in your cousin. Let's bring in your cousin Christofferson. That's his first time he's played fucking whack-bat or whatever. It's cricket. It's just cricket. He's a natural. You can tell he's your father's nephew.
Yeah, and like his relationship is just so cloudy. Like, well, isn't he like his wife's nephew or whatever?
Yeah.
But that's why that's why the crazy emo kid punishes him. And he's like, no, you got to sleep under the toy train.
He is such a dick to his cousin Christofferson.
It's
He's like,
rough.
you got to sleep under the table, and I'm even gonna turn the train on.
I felt super bad at that moment because the movie takes its time to be like, yo, this is fucked up. But it's not like, regular fucked up. This is like kids being fucked up.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to relish in your pain because it's the only way I feel important.
His cousin is younger, but like bigger and more athletic, more impressive. He does like karate, but he's just like sitting under this table trying to sleep and just crying. And he's like, stop, you're crying too much. I got to drown out these tears with the sound of my train running.
Yes. It could have been like the same shit from Family Guy. He just crawls under the table and it zooms in on their little fucking maggots crawling under the skin, looking flesh faces with the fur going, drink up your tears. The saltiness sustains me.
Meanwhile, Wes Anderson's like, Brady, this is a kid's movie. Now, back to the neglect.
Yeah, I don't think I've
For
seen
real.
a Family Guy episode since like season 4 or 5. So I don't know what that is.
Well, poop. You remember when you liked Family Guy?
I remember.
Barb remembers.
But I totally thought it was going to go in a little different direction. Like, he squeaks under the table to sleep. And it's just like, close up of his face, close up of like the desk that's like an inch away from his face. And there's just like a little bit of gum there.
Oh, like a POV of him staring at it under there?
Yeah, he's just thinking about it. It's like, it is wintergreen. Make the best of a bad situation, Just
might as well. But he goes to his financial advisor, the Badger, and the Badger's like, no, don't buy that tree. It's a bad neighborhood.
Yeah. I mean, you can cut out the middleman. He just goes to see Bill Murray.
Yeah, why not? Got to introduce that character somehow, right?
Yeah, and this is an adorable scene because he's like, I need a loan. I wanna be family. Do stuff, be rich. And he's like, bro, you can't afford it. He's like, just give me the fucking loan. He's like, don't cuss at me, point and cuss. And then they get savage. And them getting savage is one of the most adorable things.
Yeah, they just like prance around the desk in like a clockwise motion, just going, and then they sit right back down in their respective seats. Like, so anyways.
Just like growling at each other for all of like 5 seconds before they're like, all right, we're done.
Yeah.
Get out of the system. We're animals and all that.
Mm-hmm. We gotta start talking about the dialogue at some point because this is a Wes Anderson film and Wes Anderson has great dialogue. Even before that, in this scene, it was memorable because of like the back and forth between the two. Badger's just like, in summation, you just gotta not do it, man. Mr. Fox is just like, I understand what you're saying and your input is valuable, but I've just got to do it anyway.
Yeah, he was like, well, I'm not going to follow your advice anyway. Okay, thanks, bye.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You have given me wonderful advice. I regretfully declined to follow it.
But I did notice, like, his eyes were always on the prize, so I guess spoilers, like, what he wanted to do is, like, he wants to heist these 3 locations for 3 different items, like, chicken, whatever. And, like, he can clearly see these places from the window of his accountant or whatever, Bill Murray's place, and he's just constantly just looking past him at that. Like, his eyes were always on the prize.
Yeah, I think that's from the window of the home that he's thinking about buying, the tree.
Yeah, 100%. He can see it out of the office window, and he buys a house that's even closer. That way, he's within striking distance.
Well, Mr. Fox has a plan. He's going to bring in his boy. He's going to bring in his boy Possum. He is available, and he can catch minnows. That's what he's all about.
Dude, man, his right-hand man in this movie was just so adorably dumb.
He has some of the fucking best moments in the film. The first time you get to see his eyes after he talks about the wolf, and it's just like, I guess, the representation of the 1,000-yard stare. And I was like, that's fucking gorgeous. And then whenever Fox is giving the Phantom toast, and he's like, yeah, let's eat. And everyone looks at him like he's crazy. He's like, what? I was just playing along.
Yeah. There's a lot of, like, especially with that character, there's a lot of, oh no! Anyway.
Yeah, he'll get locked into those possum eyes where he's just, like you said, the 1,000-yard stare, but it's like playing possum. He's just, like, locked into it. And it's like, okay, let's do it. All right.
Yeah, he's in it to win it. And do you remember the names of the three places?
I've got it down as the first one is the chicken house. I think the second was, like, ducks or something.
Right,
it doesn't matter. None of this matters. First one's chicken house. They're going in. There's Beagle standing guard. You know what we're going to do?
Fucking murder him. Cold blood.
Not quite cold blood, but we're going to throw some drugs at them, and they're going to eat them up because dogs love blueberries.
Good God. All right. So they're like, oh, we're going to put enough in here to tranquilize a rhino. And they give it to a beagle. They use these little eyeballs that are X's, like, you know, like classic cartoon X's. And you know that fucking animal is dead, but it's the cutest dead you've ever seen because, spoiler, whenever they kill the rat, he gets the exact same eyes.
Yeah, they just turn into asterisks, and they just kind of, like, quietly fall down.
Yeah.
Those beagles dead as shit.
They totally are. We spoke about it before we started recording. Like, his idea of, like, hiding whatever it is in these little blueberries is chop them in half, put a little nugget of, like, whatever tranquilizer, but then just taking a big glob of super glue and just, like, sealing them right back up. They'll never notice.
The dogs just don't care. They eat them. They're like, organic.
Organic. Yeah, this is just Mr. Fox and the possum going in this time. He's telling him, all right, we're going into this chicken hut. You got to clamp down on him. One bite, one kill, right? Well, possum got different teeth. It's whatever. This is a successful heist. They get out of there with their chickens.
But hey, you know what? They get back home with their bounty, but it's not quite a large bounty. So, like, Fantastic Mr. Fox's wife, Miss Fantastic, she's just like, it's a little weird. Maybe he got some kind of bonus. Nothing to worry about. A little extra. This is good.
Yeah, on the way out, he's like, we got to stop at the Five and Dime, get some wax paper and some stickers or something. So she thinks that I bought it there. And then the next day, it's like, oh, we have 30 birds in here now.
But they're all tagged appropriately, like they're from the Five and Dime.
That was
Look
a good
at
little
all those chickens.
Nice. Now, meanwhile, the child, he is at school with his cousin. And there's this, I guess, B-plot of their coming of terms with each other and how one is different, i.e. wilder than the other. And it's a fun little dynamic these two have that develops. I actually liked their story more than, I guess, the heist bits. And I really liked the way they highlighted the female here. This was really cute. There's like the freckled little fox girl that's basically between the two of them. And they're doing science stuff. And you can tell that the female's already in love with the cousin. He goes, oh, you're supposed to be my partner. And she goes, I am. He goes, you're not my partner. You're just loyal. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, he's a total sociopath. That's what made me laugh, because, like, you know, the movie clearly shows this kid basically just being tossed to the side, like, left and right, whether it be his parents neglecting him, or, like, basically him losing his best friend, so on and so forth. And the movie, what I love about it, it doesn't pull any punches. It doesn't try to sugarcoat the situation. It's just like, yeah, this kid's fucked, and by the way, we're already fucking.
Dude, whenever she hits him with the, we're going steady, and he just goes, it's like a little fucking Billy Bob Thornton grunt.
Yeah, but it seems very mean-spirited at first, and that's why I kind of didn't like it, but, like, this all comes to a head much later on.
Yeah, the second heist, I don't really have a whole lot on. They get in and get out pretty quickly. This is the one with like the electric fence, and they're just like, "What's the escape plan? How do we get out of here?" Mr. Fox is just like, "Hey, follow me," and they just climb up the fence, getting zapped every bit of the way.
Well, by that time, they had already been, like, not busted, but, like, they alerted everything. So basically, this is case in point. You're playing a stealth game, and you're like, okay, I'm awesome. I'm stealthing around. You trigger the alarm. You're like, all right, fuck it. Guns a-blazing. Let's just go.
We gotta go.
There is a lot of that. Like, whenever they rob this place, it's shown to you via the CCTV monitors, and they're popping up on each one doing something different. It reminded me of, like, a cutscene from Abe's Odyssey, and so I was into that bit.
I definitely like the part where Mr. Fox farted and giggled about it.
And then he possessed one of the dogs and then made it explode. Yeah, I got you.
I missed that part.
One of the better scenes. It's a shame you missed it.
Well, you know he can't mind control the security guard. All they do is just scream.
Help!
Yeah.
So the next place they have to go rob is ran by Claymation Bill Nye, and his big specialty is cider.
I'm just going to go straight in. Speaking of cider, what else would I have today except for a cider? This is Newton's Folly. This is out of Middlebury, Vermont. This is from the American Hard Cider Company. It says semi-dry. It is pretty dry. It's just a little sweet, but there's not, honestly, a whole lot of flavor there. Like, usually you get like a pop of sweetness or a pop of tartness or some tannins or something like that. You don't get a whole lot from this at all. Like, it's fine, super drinkable, but there's just not a whole lot of flavor here. It's fine.
Well, speaking of slightly disappointed, after all these heists are kind of all these heists are kind of getting the attention of the owners of all these places.
Yeah, they have a little meeting. It's like, hey, have you had any fox problems? What fucking hell we have?
The last guy. Fucking what, mate? Me too.
You're a cold cunt, Jason Statham.
Oh.
It's clearly on his forehead.
Yes. But at this third heist, this is where I actually got my laughs. This is where I really started. Up to this point, it wasn't like I hate this movie, but I was just like, whatever. But right here, whenever they're in the fucking cider cellar and they encounter the bodyguard rat, and I thought that it was voiced. You informed me it was Willem Dafoe, but I swear to God, whenever he was first sitting there, because the way he looked, and the way he sounded, I thought he was the dude from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And I thought he was going to give him the line like him and the Fox were buddies, and he was going to say some shit like, "Do not seek the cider."
Oh, John Turturro.
Yeah, I can 100% hear that being John Turturro. But no, this is Willem Dafoe putting on his best Gambit from the animated X-Men. Except instead of like cards, he's just got like a little switchblade that he's whipping around. By the way, this is a children's movie, and this rat has a switchblade.
It's okay, because he's just trying to like get these fellas like, get on out of here.
Yes, he jumps down. He's like, "Get on out of here, Fox! You gonna cut you so bad? You gonna wish I didn't cut you so bad?"
I blame the schools.
And the opossum's just like, "What is he trying to tell us?" And Mr. Fox is just like, "Something about seeing homos naked. I don't know."
Why say homos naked?
No.
But kind of the part that gave me a laugh, the line that gave me a laugh here was like, the farmer's wife hops in here at one point and tries to get some cider, and they have to hide behind these cider bottles, like for the time being. All of them do. She leaves and they get out safe, and he's just like, "Oh my God, is she blind? I think she may have an astigmatism."
Yes.
The line totally deflates the situation, because when they have to hide behind these like clearly transparent bottles of cider, it's extremely tense. It's a scene that works like if it were in some kind of like thriller. I don't know why it's so fucking perfect, but the movie just like deflates it immediately, like, "Oh yeah, she is blind. Don't worry about it."
Whenever he's hiding behind the bottle, this was my first genuine out loud fucking gut bust. He's hiding behind this cider bottle, and you just see his face, kind of like in Jurassic Park 2 or whatever. And all of a sudden, it's just his teeth and this look of shock on his face. And she pulls the bottle away, and he is pretzeled up back there like one of those fucking pipe cleaners that you just twisted around all crazy into the shape of that bottle. And I fucking lost it.
No, it's super hilarious because like he gives that little snarl like he'd kind of been caught.
Yeah, he's like, but then she puts the bottle back and yay.
Crisis averted. Next scene, you know?
100%.
Now, like I mentioned earlier, like these are 3 successful heists, and the third one was like way more lucrative than the rest. You know, and all the fellas are getting together like, oh, mate, we got all these Fox problems. What are we going to do about it? Welly, welly. All that shit. And they're so fucking sleazy and scummy. They're just like, listen, we're just going to be really fucking obtuse about this entire situation, and we're going to basically like militarize all 3 of our plans to take out this one fucking fox.
It reminded me 100% of that scene because him and the possum come out to go do the robbing. And whenever they do, it's just the scene in, what is it, Boys in the Hood? Whenever he's like, no! And he turns around and he still gets shot in that drive-by. It's exactly that.
Oh, yeah. Well, fucking Mr. Fox gets his ass shot off. And it's such, like,
Literally.
it's such a, yeah, he gets his tail shot off. And it's such a quick moment. Like, he doesn't even realize anything happened until he got back to the house. He's like, oh, well, that could have been worse. Bleed, bleed, bleed.
When this is going on, we've got a whole series of great dialogue going on here, because this is when they're like trying to sneak out, and they actually get caught. Mrs. Fox is there waiting on them.
Oh, yes, the scene that's been living in the back of my head for who knows how long.
I know there's a line here that you really like too, but there's a line that I've got. Mrs. Fox is like, he sees Christopherson is there too, because he's going to join him, and she's like, and why is he wearing that bandit hat? His ears were cold, and he's not with us. Meanwhile, his ears are fully just poking out of the hat.
Yes, I had to stop the movie because I was laughing, and the missus didn't know what I was laughing at. I was like, no, honey, you don't understand. Look, his mask doesn't even fucking cover his ears. It's a bold-faced lie that almost fucking worked.
And then you've got a line here that I know you've repeated to me several times over the years.
Because it works. It works in real life situations. It's such a like perfect significant other or even like motherly thing to say because they get caught in the act about to do some more heisting, even though they should have been done forever ago. And she just, arms crossed. If that's what I think it is, perfect zoom in. It better not be.
The line is, if what I think is happening, it better not be. I wrote it down.
Yeah, Eric.
No, it's okay. I've been put in my fantastic Mr. Fox place. It's okay.
Listen,
good thing there's a Fox News segment coming up.
I take 20 pages of notes in a movie. A lot of them are going to be quotes here or there, just so I can get the words just right.
Oh, Chandler just slams down the whole fucking screenplay. Wrong.
How dare you paraphrase? I love you, Chan-Man.
Oh, sorry. What are we doing?
Fox News.
No, you're right. Like, all this hubbub is attracting the attention of the media around there. They're just like, hey, Mr. Rich Guy who owns these factories, what's going on? And he's just like, there's a fucking fox. I'm gonna fucking kill him. More at 11.
I need some fucking epinephrine now. Get that sexy fox lady over here so I can bang her.
Oh, no.
I mean, really, though, honestly, all of these guys are just Jim Justice in different sizes, are they not?
Oh, man. You're probably not wrong.
That being said, if they kill Baby Dog, I will dig up that fucking tree myself.
Baby Dog is long dead.
Yeah, he ate a blueberry.
I meant actual Baby Dog.
He ate a blueberry.
Never mind.
Now the fellas that, as you mentioned earlier, Eric, have mobilized their factories and they're, number one, digging up the foxes who are currently doing a dig-dug cutscene to escape and setting up 500 Korean rooftop snipers.
It was just so ridiculous. And I absolutely loved the tunnel digging bits because it's so, I don't want to say bad, but like good enough.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's if Nickelodeon developed a live action or like fuck it, skip it.
No, that's the exact same thought process Wes Anderson probably came across. Like, look, this movie's definitely a pain in the ass. Leave it.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Good, great, grand. And he just drives off all bloated.
Yes, good.
So they're trying to get out of there. Mrs. Fox is obviously pissed and is like, what did I tell you 12 years ago? And he's just like, what can I say? I'm a wild animal.
Just a wild and crazy guy. He points at her with the finger guns, and she's just like extra pissed now.
Are you pointing at me?
Are you pointing and cussing at me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Next thing we know, they whip out their bulldozers. They're going to take out this whole fucking tree. They're going to dig them out of there. Fuck this Fox, you know?
And they run into Bill Murray, the Badger, down there, and he's like, hey, Fox, your crazy shenanigans are going to get a lot of good people killed. What are you going to do about it? He's like, hang on, let me go fucking vibe on this wall.
Yeah. And this is something that never comes up before this moment, and we're legitimately like 2/3 of the way through the movie. He starts feeling on the wall. He's just like, yeah, it's okay to go this way, I guess. And everybody's just like, okay, let's dig some more.
I'm just saying, he tunnels them directly into each of the fucking factories like it's nothing. Why didn't he just try this to begin with?
That's an amazing question, because when they has that like super long like Wes Anderson cutaway of like the underground bits and the hangars and stuff, I'm just like, this looks like an actual heist.
Yeah. Meanwhile, while they're doing all this digging, we're getting a fucking music video with Zibby Ya Pippy Doo Ya Yay, and boy, oh boy, whenever it's done and the fucking guy comes in and goes, that's a bad song, Petey. I was like, at least somebody had the fucking courage to say it.
Oh, no, not Petey.
It had to happen. I just have to put that out there. It had to happen because the movie fucking slams the brakes. I wasn't mentally prepared for this moment. Mind you, it is pretty cute. I'm like, okay, haha, it's like a little hoedown we're having. But it just keeps going, and I'm like, please God, I know you got to get the 90 minutes. Just please stop.
I was having a good time, honestly. I was. Maybe I'm just a little Appalachian hippie boy or something, but I was into it.
It just cuts to Brady and I just being like, okay, come on, get it over with. Hard cut to Chandler just like having a fucking square dance in time, just fucking living it
Slapping his knee, got a fucking washboard on his chest.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's in it.
I'm out there fucking mountain dancing on a piece of plywood like Jesco White.
Oh
shit.
Yep.
Jack
That was Jarvis Cocker, the singer from Pulp.
Can't just have a name like that. Jarvis Cocker.
Listen, Jarvis Cocker is the exact type of name that you would expect to be in a movie like this.
But meanwhile, they get robbed blind. The dudes find out. They're like, this is some bullshit. What are we going to do? He's like, I'm going to smash up my Lego house, walk outside to my meth lab, and get an idea.
Yeah, that dude's really super into cider. Like, I guess I get it.
I mean, even in that earlier scene when he's like yelling down at the wife to get him some cider, she's like, how many you want? 2 or 3? 3! And she just brings back 2.
Speaking of the wife, that scene is coming up in like 2 seconds. The children are like, how are we going to become the best Fantastic Foxes we can be? Well, we're going to go steal Dad's tail back. And they get into the house, and this is very adorable because they are very miniature, and you can tell that they're small in reality. And it's really neat because they're sitting on the counter holding still because the lady comes home, and she walks in, looks right at them, goes about her business. They're like, she can't see shit. Get some more cookies. She comes back with fucking glasses and that fucking knife from Cobra, and I was like, yes.
This is a straight up like military jungle combat knife.
But only one of the children escape as the one who's dressed, once again, like Max from Where the Wild Things Are, goes running home. Everyone gets drowned in cider and pushed into a sewer system, and he just shows up there too. Why? Because.
Well, yeah, he just kind of had to be there. But the thing is, like, I was kind of thinking like a moment, like a really shitty moment for the kid was coming up, because he does come back, sans his cousin, and everybody's just like, dude, where's your cousin? You know? I thought his dad was going to break down and just be like, why did they have to take the good one? God, just take me.
That would have been fucking great.
A scene that I love right directly before this is right after Mr. Fox gets back and he's like, yeah, we took everything they had. The bad guys, the 3 farmers, are like, they took everything we had. And they're in this trailer, and the big bad guy, I guess, just trashes everything. He goes off on the inanimate objects in this trip. This is the most violent claymation scene that I have seen since fucking Celebrity Deathmatch.
I thought you were going to say this is the most violent scene against inanimate objects since In Bruges.
Yes, it's an inanimate fucking object.
Are you considering what's his face an inanimate object after he jumps off the Eiffel Tower or whatever that was?
Oh.
Now, there is this poignant camera shot of the fox who's like, "I'm going to change. I'm going to reform from being a wild animal." And his wife's like, "I love you, but I want a divorce." He's like, "Oh, Bill Murray's sitting on the stairs of the award show." Meh.
Yeah, for sure. That was very poignant. Like you said, like this movie's wacky. It's totally for kids, but the underlying current of like the tribulations they go through as a couple, it fucking hits. And when she said, "I love you, but I should have never married you," I was just like, fuck, man. This movie knows how to pull those fucking family heart chords.
Sure does. I'm a little bit behind on my notes. Give me just a second to kind of catch
It's okay.
up.
We're at the part where they start just like bombing the shit out of the tree just to get the fox.
Nuh-uh. You forgot the Rat Jazz Beatdown.
The Rat Jazz Beatdown.
The Rat Jazz Beatdown. Fuck
God
yeah.
damn, that's a good name.
So this is the part where we have the Rat Jazz Beatdown.
Yes.
Mr. Fox is going out to like give himself up. Like maybe they'll give back Christopherson and leave everybody else alone. Mr. Fox is just like, "You can have me."
Yeah, I mean, it's, like that Ann hero thing. Like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and give up. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. I'll just go ahead and make the swap.
Hells yeah. While he's on the way to do that, the rat basically comes to deliver the same ultimatum, like give him up and we won't have no problems. And he's like, "Oh, he's not here? I'm going to snatch up your baby boy." And so he's trying to snatch up the baby boy, and he fucking grabs him and underhand softball pitches him against the wall.
He does. I was totally fucking not ready for that, to be honest. In my mind, the way it was kind of structured is that, okay, he's a quote-unquote tough guy with a knife. I thought he was going to get his shit pushed in immediately. No, he hurls that kid up against the sewer wall, and I fucking died laughing.
It's the same scene that Mrs. Fox comes out with, "Am I being flirted with by a psychotic rat?"
And he was, too. That was Willem Dafoe's idea, by the way, along with his accent.
All of this whole movie is Willem Dafoe's idea. I'm pretty sure Roald Dahl is just a pen name of Willem Dafoe.
I can't believe they let him by with that fucking line he says. He's like, "After I get done cutting a gash into your boy, I'm going to cut a gash into you, baby."
Why is he Benicio del Toro?
I don't know. He got real fucking Benicio real quick.
They do dispatch with the rat, and just before he gives his last breath, he redeems himself. He's like, the kid is in this cage in this room or whatever. I don't know. That's all he is.
The baby fox.
Yeah, he divulges the location of the kid who was kidnapped, but it's so melodramatic, and only Willem Dafoe could deliver it. He's just like, "The kid's in the attic in the cage."
Give me some of that dysentery water so I can die.
Oh yeah, he just takes a big swig of the cider. He's like, "Oh, I can let one go," and he dies. Yeah.
Sorry. Immediately after, Mr. Fox announces, "Well, my suicide mission has been canceled. We're replacing it with a go for broke rescue mission."
Yes, "Let's get wild" is the speech he gives, and then they all just strip off their clothes and start banging it out. Different animal with different animal. Just a wild, ravenous orgy of passion and fur.
Listen, this is not a 70s animal key party. What actually happens?
You're telling me this isn't the fantastic Mr. Caligula?
Oh.
Remember that scene where George Clooney just slides that flower in that guy's asshole?
It zooms in and he's got possum eyes.
Ew.
I want to say Mr. Badger is about to go dick down damn Helen Mirren.
Oh, Jesus. But good for him.
Good for him, yeah. I mean, she's 85 years old or something like that? Give it up.
Isn't another word for vagina beaver? No, beaver, not badger. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in British town, they use everything like, I don't know, clunge.
Plunge.
What?
Minge.
Yeah, growler.
Minge?
All kinds of dumb stuff.
Oh.
Fucking minge sounds gross. That just sounds like musty as fuck.
Yes, it
Like,
does.
I got the minge.
Yeah. just smells like fucking asbestos and humidity.
Oh, all I could think was like how like a gross boil would smell.
Oh,
Ew.
throw some mothballs in there. Ugh. Anyway, so we've got another great line coming up. One of my favorites, maybe my favorite from the whole movie. And they're arranging their forces, getting all the animals together, giving them Latin names and all this stuff. You know, who have we've got? We've got the beaver. He could chew through wood. All right. We got the mole. He can see in the dark. The rabbit. You're fast. All right. Badger, what can you do? Demolitions expert. What?
Yes.
Since when? Explosions, flames, burning things.
It works.
Okay, sure. Yeah, all right.
It's fucking comic gold. Like it's like the shit we think up in our like hypotheticals and stuff. It's great.
So good. So good.
If I say it, it's true. And it is. And he goes out there and starts fucking setting everything on fire during this big distraction.
It's actually goddamn ridiculous because the retaliation on both sides of this is crazy. So not only do the aminals commit giant acts of arson just for shits and giggles, a distraction, but you got fucking all these fellas, the owners of these plants, which are now on fire, by the way, just using military-grade fucking tactics to try to get to this fox. Not only bulldozing the tree, but blowing the shit out of it with explosives. Like, it's like, where that tree was is a giant fucking crater.
Meanwhile, the animals are throwing pine cone grenades at them. How that works, I don't know, but they're pine cone grenades.
Science!
Yeah. I'd be totally cool with, like, you know, they lit them on fire before they tossed them, kind of like pine cone cocktails, but I'd be totally cool if they just, like, bit the top off of one of them, just hurled it, and it worked.
Why not?
That would be fucking great. I did like that Mr. Fox gets chased by a rabid beagle, and it's trying to chomp him, and he's literally screaming just like Ernest.
It's pretty goofy.
The bit that I like, when they actually crawl out of the manhole, they get it, you know, uncovered, they start coming out, they run toward this motorcycle. It's like a full-size motorcycle, so they run around it and get a fox-sized motorcycle that's hidden behind it.
This moment, I can just see it in the boardroom, right? So they're going through the storyboard, they're like, okay, they run to the motorcycle, right? Yeah, but aren't motorcycles people-sized? You're right. So the solution is they need a fox-sized one. Next.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And it turns into like the fucking O.J. Simpson chase, like live from Chapter 13 as we follow the white sidecar moped as it flees from authorities after really drawing out a cute 15-minute short into a feature-length film.
And there's some grossness too, because like they do wind up getting the tail back, and it's already been eviscerated by a rabid dog, and there's like meat chunks everywhere, but like he's totally cool with just picking it back up off the ground, tying it to the antenna of the motorcycle, and just being like, yep, we got it back. Okay.
And
all right.
At this point, we realize that little Mr. Fox, Ash, has stowed away the motorcycle. He's just like, pops up. I don't like needles myself when they're talking about phobias. They're just like, where the cuss did you come from?
I'm starting to think I'm going crazy. How do you keep doing this? He's like, 'cause I'm little. And I know Kung Fu. Smashes through a fucking plate glass window, rescues his cousin. They fucking stunt jump out of the goddamn fort. And then they see this wolf, which has been a reoccurring thing to keep bringing up. I really liked this moment of the fox being like, yo, wolf, come down here and chill with us. I'm trying to talk to you like a human. I'm trying to be people with you. And the wolf refuses. And the animal inside of Mr. Fox comes through. He tears up and holds up a fist in solidarity, like, brother, you keep on being a fucking animal. And the wolf holds up his fist, like, I feel, bro.
Hell yeah, fox power.
The part about this that I love is, like, he starts talking to him, and then, you know, lists his Latin name, and he's like, oh, he must not speak English or Latin. Let me try French.
Yeah, that got a good laugh out of me. I was like, oh, well, maybe. Worth a shot.
Yeah. I asked him if he thought that we were in for a hard winter. He must not know.
He's wild, Atreyu.
When they're on their way out and they're getting chased, back at, you know, Animal HQ or whatever you want to call it, the mole is, you know, he's on command or whatever you want to call it. He's like, hold on. I just intercepted a high-frequency radio signal with a can.
Oh, yeah. And, like, everybody in the movie and also the audience, they're just like, well, of course he did.
Sir, you didn't have to say it. I didn't question it to begin with.
I believe it. I believe the whole thing. Yes, sir.
But saying with a can just brings out the absurdity, and you're like, yes, thank you for allowing me to check that reality check that we had right there.
Super Wes Anderson moment.
Yeah, for sure. I think that is about it. They escape. They end up living down in the sewer, which ends up being, I mean, it looks like a pretty nice apartment building. All the animals are down there. So they just have like a little commune or something, a bunch of hippies.
Yeah, it totally worked out. Like George Clooney's plan that basically almost ruined everybody's life, kind of worked out. He got lucky. And that's why he's fantastic.
That is why he's fantastic.
Yay!
But a recurring theme, I don't know if you guys caught this, a recurring theme through all of this was how Ash was different. They mention it several times. He's just different, Did you notice at the very end when they're toasting their juice boxes or whatever? Everyone has apple juice, but he has grape. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know what that meant until just now. I've learned a valuable lesson.
You gotta pay attention to these things.
Well, to be honest, I thought the whole movie's thing was just like, I'm going to shit on this kid until he becomes something good.
And he did. Turned a lump of coal into a diamond.
Yeah, he does a little bit of karate, and he doesn't actually break what he intended to break, but it all turns out fine. He ends up knocking the little cage over to escape his cousin. So it's fine. They get out. It's all good.
Ah, yes.
Well, there you have it, folks. That was your fantasticmrfox. What do you think? Comment below.
And then he died.
Wham.
Wham.
Well, okay. I thought the movie was cute. Dealing with the animation was a little hard with me. I brought it up earlier. It looked like there was something crawling under the skin of the furred characters the entire time, which was very off-putting and distracting to me. When I was finished with the film, I went, yeah, that's a Wes Anderson movie. Nothing wrong with it in any way, shape, or form. I just have zero desire to ever watch it again.
For me, I liked it. I saw it forever ago and never really got the itch to watch it again, but to watch it for the show, it was very pleasant, very Wes Anderson-y. I know that's weird to say, but damn, he has his own style. I don't really have any complaints. I'd say recommendation just because it's such an easy watch. I don't mean to come off as blasé, but yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, I'm a big Wes Anderson fan anyway, and while this isn't my favorite Wes Anderson film, it's still a damn good one. I love the dialogue, I love the casting, it is cute. And I would say that this is targeted to be like a children's movie, but I feel like it's more a movie that parents would like and drag their kids to because they can get away with saying, oh, it's a kid's movie. But no, this is totally for the parents. 10 out of 10.
Well, there you have it. That was Fantastic Mr. Fox. If you have any strong feelings about the movie or the show, leave it in that comment section below.
Be sure to mash that like and subscribe button. Bash the little bell icon, too, so you don't miss what we got brewing up next.
Yeah, damn, fall off, throw me off.
Oh, fuck.
Yes.
Let's see homos naked.
Get out there and follow us on social media. We got that Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit. We're all over that goddamn space out there. And if you want, you can find us anywhere. Podcasts are available. Give us a shot. I think we're kind of funny. If you don't, we'll drown your home in cider.
You said insider.